Times change, and so do tastes. This is true in everything from movies to food to music, and in some cases musical instruments. My tastes have varied over the 15 years that I have been playing music, and right now I'm in a little bit of a slump with this ukulele. This is Gear Profile. Hello, my name is Marc Gallagher and welcome to Gear Profile, where I take a look at a piece of gear that I have and love and I tell its story, why it speaks to me, and of course, I give it a little play. Today we're looking at my Ukulele SUST ukulele. By 2019, I definitely had my main ukulele in my Pono Pro Classic tenor. I've spoken about that one before. I'd taken this ukulele around Europe with me when I was traveling into pretty much all my gigs, but I knew that I needed a backup, a good backup. My beloved piece of crap uke was not quite going to cut it. I needed a backup that was of a similar level of quality to the Pono for whenever I needed to get it set up or what have you. At the 2019 Enough, I visited the Southern Ukulele Store stall and I played their Ukulele SUST. I was floored when I played it. It was surprising to see a Ukulele ukulele for under £1,000. On the 10th of March 2020, I went to Bournemouth to play a Hawaiian-themed Jewish event. It was wild. I got the booking and I had about 5 days to arrange and learn about 13 instrumental Jewish songs. I think it was a celebration of the holiday Purim, and it was insane. After the gig, I stayed over with someone who I came across through couchsurfing. The following day, after a lovely little stroll on the beach, I paid a visit to Southern Ukulele Store. Alex and I had made plans to duet a cover in the shop, and they supplied me with a ukulele from the shop for the video. We worked out Isn't She Lovely, and I picked up a Ukulele SUST. Pretty much as soon as we finished shooting that video, I said, I'll take it. A Hawaiian-made ukulele that was that good at that price was a no-brainer. I swapped out the stock Ukuleles with a set of Worth brand low Gs and I got a MiSi installed. Sus were very kindly installing it while I waited, and during this time I got to help Alex out with a quality check of some of the new Ukulele arrivals, which was absolutely amazing. They even gave me a cup of tea, which that's how you know that you've made it. Sus did me a great deal and they offered to do me an even greater one. We had arranged to do a workshop concert event at the shop later in the year, and I was given the option to take my fee as an additional discount off that instrument, and then I would do the workshop concert event for free. I declined. That year was 2020, and that event now sadly has been lost to time. I do kind of wish I took advantage of that offer to save me an extra couple £100, but whatever, still worth the money. I indeed chose the worst time to buy a ukulele. I even made a video about it at the time, and now 5 years later, I don't really regret it at all. The Ukulele served as an equal to my Pono. I would use the ukes interchangeably at gigs, in recording, and on videos. I guess my tastes changed a little around 2022. I was having a very good year then, with maybe 5 to 7 gigs a week. There was one at the Oast House in Manchester where sadly I dropped my Ukulele. It's got a crack on the top, and after some unrelated work with Rob Collins, I was advised to keep an eye on that. I guess I've just been wary of the crack on that uke ever since, and that's made me scared to play it. In the last few years, I guess I've fallen out of love with this ukulele somewhat. It just wasn't sounding the same or making me feel the same as it once did. But I made one change to it that has ignited a spark in me recently. I'm mostly a player of tenor low G ukuleles. That's just my thing, that's my sound. I've got 5 tenor ukuleles now, 2 Ponos, the Ukulele, my Flight, my Noah. I thought with me not gigging the Ukulele, it was probably a worthy sacrificial lamb to change something up to have something as high G, but this string has now brought out much more interesting sounds and a playing feel, but we'll talk about that more a little bit later. This is a Ukulele SUST, the Southern Ukulele Store tenor. It's a now discontinued model of ukuleles made exclusively for SUS as a range of Hawaiian-made ukuleles under £1,000. It has an Alaskan rainbow cedar top with South American mahogany back and sides. I'm a cedar guy, my Pono is a cedar, as are most of my guitars. Cedar's great, I love it. Compared to my other tenors, the body is maybe a little bit on the wider side, especially at the lower bow. It's a bit chunky. You've got a pin bridge, which is really handy because I find tie bars a pain in the arse to restring. You've got other features for canalea, which are like the true R bracing, and it's got a really wider nut width of 38mm compared to the 35, 36 that I'm used to on Pono. It also comes with one of the nicest gig bags I've ever seen. It feels really great quality in terms of its padding, and I've never had concerns of like the uke safety when traveling with it. It once even made for a really comfy bed for my dog. I played this canalea for years with Worth Brown low Gs, and I enjoyed it very much. There was a reasonable warmth to it, but with a zingy quality from the cedar. The mids don't feel muddy, but tight and controlled. Compared to my main Pono, I'd say that uke is a bit smoother, sweeter and quieter, whereas this canalea has more projection and mid-range girth. Changing it to a high G was quite the revelation. It sparked a beautiful, chimey clarity compared to the canon of the Rob Collins soprano. Whereas that uke barks, this one sings. You've got the tension of the tenor scale, and that makes such a huge difference in terms of sound and playing feel. Yes, it fights me a little more than a concert or soprano, but that resultant sound feels stronger. Creatively, it's opened a door for me. It's given me access to chord voicings and sounds that I otherwise wouldn't have explored. And the sound thing is not just with it being a high G, but with it being a tenor high G. Like compared to the soprano, which gives way a bit more, the concert, which is a middle ground, the fact that the tenor fights me a little bit, you get much more projection out of it in a pleasing way. And it's much more inspiring for me to play at the moment. My favourite use for this ukulele right now is as my downstairs uke. I keep most of my instruments in this studio here to get some separation from my work and my home life, but this is a ukulele that I like to have downstairs, and I can just noodle on it when I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. Since I've gone for a high G with this, for the first time in a long time have I played the ukulele solely for pleasure, and I'm really enjoying that. So I'm not gigging with this ukulele right now. I imagine I'd feel too exposed if I was to take it out and play a high G on songs where I've become so accustomed to that lower octave. If I was to play it, it would probably sound something like this. We're caught in a trap, I can walk out, because I love you too much, baby. But should I write something that favours that uke, that re-entrant tuning? I could see myself playing with it live, here and there. Will I go back to low G with this ukulele? Maybe one day, but right now I've got 4 more low G tenors that I do gig with. This one stands out. It's the black sheep directly because of the retuning. Right now it's having something of a rest, but maybe one day it'll ride again. My name is Marc Gallagher and this has been Gear Profile. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any thoughts down in the comments. You can also follow me on your favourite social media, at Marc Gallagher Music, and consider supporting me on Patreon. For now, I'm Marc Gallagher. Like if you want, share if you feel compelled to, and follow me on places. I'll catch you down the road.